On behalf of Darla and Joe, thank you for your love, your kind words, your expression of concern, and most of all for your being here. They want to express their gratitude to the entire community, the Sacred Heart Parish, Father Joe, the DeFries Grattan Funeral Home, the president and the administration and the faculty of Sacred Heart University. They want you to know that they realize that they are not in this alone, and they are grateful for your support. Each of you has contributed immeasurably to their well-being. On behalf of Carly, let me express her appreciation for keeping her ever mindful of Kaitlyn's accomplishments, but most of all, reminding her that her sister packed a lot of living into life. On behalf of the entire Doorhy and Nankervis families, both immediate and extended, let me express that they have been moved by your kindness and your compassion. Many of you know me, and for that I am heartened. For those of you who don't, I am William Araneo, and it's my honor to be with you today. Joe and Darla amongst our dearest friends. Although there are more than a few of you who can lay claim to this same emotion, my wife Mary Lou and I thought of Kaitlyn as a daughter, and our daughter Corrine thought of her as a sister. We love her and we cherish her. We are close. How close? There are just as many pictures of her on our refrigerator as there are of our own daughter. I think of Kaitlyn, I think of her immediately, I think of her as a force for change, a force for courage, a force for speaking out for what's right, for education, for justice, for couture, for style, for ambition, for community spirit, and for the love of God and her faith. She entered a room and people gravitated to her. She didn't hide her feelings. She's headstrong, determined, disciplined, artistic, current, focused, loving, athletic, artistic, dedicated to her family, both immediate and extended. She is a force. Kaitlyn always took the time to understand various points of view, especially those of her elders. Her character wouldn't let her turn a blind eye to the needs of family, the needs of neighbors, a need of the community, the need of the church, or the need of classmates. Even at a young age, Kaitlyn lent her support to numerous community events, athletic boosters, social activities, and religious causes, usually assuming a leadership role. Blending into the background wasn't her character. She is a force. She loved her role as big sister. Her relationship with precious Carly was a sight to behold. Surely it would be abrupt and emotional at times, but mostly it was fun, joyous, precocious, playful, respectful, sharing and loving. And always there was family, cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents. Kaitlyn seemed most happy when her family would host parties. She embraced the diversity and was proud of those lessons. I was first introduced to Kaitlyn in 1999, just 5 short years after birth, due to the efforts of Steve and Gail Angel to bring together a group of children and their parents in a meaningful way. They would plan events at the local park and Halloween gatherings, or the children's programs at the Mattatuckatchogue Library. Kaitlyn was a voice for a group of children that included Christine Angel, Corrine Araneo, Zach Hinch, and Cody Kioski. She was not bossy or pushy. She inherently knew what the group needed to do, how to do it, and how to have fun doing it. A born leader. She is a force. Anecdotally, I need to tell you that Kaitlyn had to tell her dad, Joe, it was okay to be friends with the Araneos. You see, Joe wasn't really looking for more friends at that time, and in fact, their beloved Rottweiler, Bear, was the enforcer. One better not have arrived at the Doorhy house unannounced, for Bear would make sure you stayed in the car until someone was there to greet you. One of my earliest recollections of Kaitlyn being Kaitlyn was when she realized that she needed braces. You see, with Darla working in the profession, there was a natural instinct for intervention. Kaitlyn, let's face it, wasn't blessed with the straightest teeth. She got braces before any of the other children. Did it bother her? Maybe a little bit. But she did what she always did. She understood the reasons why. She focused on the benefit. She wore those braces like a badge of courage. Even at a tender age, she taught us all that it would be okay. She is a force. Kaitlyn tried her hand in most everything the young people in Mattatuckatchogue do. She was a longtime member of the Girl Scouts and achieved its highest honor, the Gold Award, with Darla as her scout leader. She played soccer with Darla as her coach. She actually grew to become a pretty good player. She played through her senior year in high school, and while not a starter or a key player, she was nonetheless a leader. She was determined to contribute in any way she could. I can hear Joe telling me now that was a really proud moment. It reminded him that she was about more than herself. She is a force. Around the same time, Darla informed Kaitlyn that she would begin playing the piano. Completely surprised, but yet intrigued, she acquiesced. She plugged away. There were some anxious moments. There were some tests of will about practicing. She got to a point of being accomplished and very proud of herself. Around the same time, she began to play the saxophone, a testament to her grandfather. and through the years achieved a higher level of mastery. She was a member of the MHS Jazz Band, Jazz Ensemble, and the MHS Concert Band. In her first year at Sacred Heart University, she was a member of both the marching band and the concert band. Although marching band proved to be too much of a time commitment, she didn't want to give up both. In one of her last playing activities, she just recently returned from a tour in Italy. I believe she was inspired to achieve a level of playing distinction because nowhere did she see an ounce of musical talent from her dear parents. That is, except for them being able to turn on the radio, and one might even question that after they saw Darla operate a car radio. She is a force. And always there was the family. Birthdays, backyard summer parties. Kaitlyn was never at a loss to celebrate family. Her favorite times were spent in celebration. Entering middle school, she likened herself to the persona of Elle Wood from Legally Blonde, you know, the movie starring Reese Witherspoon. She knew she would become an attorney. At that age, she didn't quite know what it would take or how long it would take, but she knew it was her calling. Throughout the next years and through the high school, she honed in on family law. Her calling was to help women, not in a spiteful way, but she wanted justice for women wronged. While in high school, Kaitlyn's very colorful personality and her artistic, academic, and athletic quilt of accomplishments developed. She was nurtured and encouraged by Darla, Joe, and Carly. In addition to the jazz ensemble, the band and orchestra, she tried out for cheerleading, eventually becoming the captain of the squad. She was a member of NJROTC, a member of DECA, a group that performs in academic competitions. She was a member of the mock trial. She was an honor student. She was an altar server at Sacred Heart Parish. She had a hand in countless cultural, civic, and community efforts. She is a force. And always there was family, celebrating with cousins, the marriage of family members, getting to know her aunts and uncles as an adult, graduations. She rejoiced in planning family events, especially those hosted at home. In fact, while Darla and Joe thought they planned the parties, it was actually Kaitlyn who was whispering instructions in their ear. I am a 23-year member of the Mattatuck Lions Club. We have hosted the annual Strawberry Festival and Country Fair for the past 60 years. Kaitlyn is the 2011 Strawberry Queen, a competition to select a young woman who has impressed certain non-affiliated judges with her poise, academic success, range of interests, and a commitment to the community. She was our first underclassman Strawberry Queen. In prior years, the Strawberry Queen was a senior who would then not normally be available to represent the club at various events during her reign. She embraced the change. In fact, I think Kaitlyn inspired the change. We Lions are proud of our legacy of service and of each of our past Strawberry Queens, of whom there are a number present today, and I think there would not be one who would disagree that Kaitlyn raised the commitment and action bar for every future queen. Later on in high school, Kaitlyn developed her flair, her style, her look. She wanted to be accomplished on many fronts, academically, artistically, and athletically. More important, she wanted to be accomplished in couture. She soon realized, though, that she needed money to fund her ambition. Darla and Joe were supportive as parents could be. But Kaitlyn realized that she needed a job in couture. What did she do? She learned about Michael Kors fashion. She learned it inside and out. She then walked into the local Michael Kors store at the local mall and impressed them so that they hired her instantly. Why not? How could you not? She is a force. This was not the only job for Kaitlyn. She did the same with Adam and Lauren Lovett at Araneo. She went from bussing tables to hostess. I can tell you that Kaitlyn so impressed this restaurant company when they opened a new restaurant in Southold, they insisted that she work there too. Kaitlyn's ambition was so obvious to make money, but she also wanted to be around successful people. She wanted to know what made them successful. She incorporated those mannerisms, styles, and personality she found flattering into her own personality. She is a force. Before graduating from high school, Kaitlyn chose to attend Sacred Heart University. She was to be a red-wearing pioneer. She fell for SHU immediately. She visited a number of great schools in fabulous areas, but in the end, it was the curriculum, the promise of a great education, affordability, immediacy to Carly, Darla, and Joe, and proximity to her dear hometown, and the ease of being able to come home to work and to share her time with her friends. And always there was family. Although young, when the core family and even the extended family faced stormy weather and needed a beacon of light and strength, Kaitlyn stood tall. If there was a need, she was there. She knew what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. She responded with what needed to be done. In her lasting memory, it is her lasting memory that we can each take with us. In fact, if we listen carefully, we can hear the voice, which is the force named Kaitlyn. We can each We can and must do what she expects of us. For her school friends, including Christine and Corrine and Danielle and Brittany T and Kim, Sam, Brittany M, and Kate's men, and pretty much the whole class of 2012, do not let these dark clouds detract you from achieving your potential. You must do it for her. You must strive to make her proud each and every day. For her work colleagues present from Amano, Allure, and Michael Kors, do not let these troubled waters deter you from meeting the challenges of retail. Remember her spirit and her color when the rigors of the long hours, working holidays and weekends, and yes, periodically, the ungrateful customer tries your patience. You will be better off for it. For her college friends and sorority sisters, do not let this darkness stay with you. You will be sad, you will be angry. Do not let it spoil you. Remember her bright light. Remember her indomitable spirit. Remember her positive attitude. Let her speak to you when you're cramming for exams and when you're putting the finishing touches on that paper. Lift yourself to your potential. Carry her memory forward. For the Mattatuck Lions, of whom she was so proud and who are all in for community service, she is telling us to remember, always remember, be there for one another. For her immediate family, she was saddened that there were some rifts, deterring loved ones from maintaining a positive relationship. She's saying, you now remember how much you mean to one another, and it's time to continue to build bridges to stronger relationships. Remember, time is short, and there may not be tomorrow. Can you feel her force? To her many neighbors and friends, too many to name individually, but especially the Wilsbergs, the McDonalds, the Walkenteens, the Snyders, the McCarrys, the Huskies, the Pias and the Arenas, Kaitlyn cherished the relationship she had with you and appreciated your kindness, attention, and caring. In addition to Darla and Joe, Kaitlyn's greatest source of pride is Carly. Although many common traits exist in these two beautiful, talented, caring, and spirited sisters, Carly is carrying out a special niche in her own right. She, in many ways, loves to copy Kaitlyn. Carly also knows that she must go her own way. Carly is especially grateful for the lessons learned from Kaitlyn and is concerned about who will help with future lessons. Carly, I'm here to promise that you will never be alone. Kaitlyn lives in all of us, and we will be there for you. Kaitlyn knows Carly to be honest, loyal, disciplined, determined, and fun-loving. She is sure that Carly is on her way to a bright future. She knew her life's path will be one filled with a great deal of promise, and most of all, knew her to be a young woman in which to be proud. Darla and Joe did a world-class job raising two amazing children, of whom anyone in this room would be honored to be a parent. It is in times like these that our words and deeds seem insufficient. Whatever we do or say somehow seems like it's not quite enough. We search for something meaningful. Well, let me suggest something that will live forever. We all know Darla to be someone with serious, diverse interests. Among her most rewarding interests are her scrapbooking and picture binders. Please take a moment to write a letter or a card, and we can create a permanent testimony to Kaitlyn by committing your special memory of her to writing. Do this for Carly as well as for Darla and Joe. They will be able to have a living tribute. In addition, someday future generations, with God's blessings, will be able to know the woman not only through the eyes of the family, but through your eyes. That, to me, seems really significant. In life, she taught us how to appreciate the little things, be grateful for life's blessings, and live each day to its fullest. She is now teaching us courage. She is now teaching us compassion. She is now teaching us grace. She is a force. Kaitlyn D. Doorhy, because of you, we are better friends, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, sons, daughters, grandparents, parents, and spouses. Because we knew you, we have been changed for good. Rest easy, my sweet.